I don't think I was the father that I really wanted to be. I don't think I was the husband that I wanted to be, or ultimately should have been. I think I screwed that up quite a bit, and that's why I give her so much credit because she gave me a lot of grace, right? And I think in this type of career, it's easy to be self-focused and self-centered because
Hmm.
you're trying to make a name for yourself. You're all in on some of this stuff, and so what that means is your family becomes second, right? And your work family starts to become first. Your family at home starts to become second. But I think it set in for me finally when we split up and we're on the verge of divorce. I think that's where it really hit home for me because I looked around at dudes like me, right? And I looked at some of the dudes that had already retired and were sitting at home alone, um, didn't have their family around them, didn't have a wife with them, didn't have their kids around. And I was like, man, I don't want to be that. I don't want to be that guy that's sitting there just drinking myself to sleep every night with all the regrets from messing things up. And so that's really where I started to kind of refocus. And then as we came back together, uh, you know, it took a while to fix the damage that was done through that split up and some of the stuff that went along with it. But as we strengthened that relationship uh, in about 2014, I got back to my faith, and that was huge, dude. That was just a game changer for the whole relationship. And so when I got back to faith, and she had been, unbeknownst to me, she had been kind of praying for that in the background, right? She had been asking God, like, soften his heart, get him back, get him back. And when it happened, it was actually a buddy of mine that invited me back to church. And I was raised as Catholic, and I had become disenchanted with the whole system. Especially this career kind of makes you, not kind of, it makes you very cynical. And so cynical, suspicious. And so I looked at some of the stuff going on in the church, and I was just disenchanted with the whole system. So I got away from it, and going back, I went back to a non-denominational Christian church, and just was blown away, man. Quite frankly, I swore to God that my buddy had told the pastor that I was coming and had told him my whole story because that first day I sat there in church, it was like he was talking directly to me, and I to the point where I'm looking around and I'm looking at my buddy and I'm like, "You told him I was coming." He's like, "Dude, no, I didn't." And so from that day forward, we really our bond strengthened even more. I mean, we had a good marriage, but it strengthened even more. It brought a sense of calm to our relationship, to our family, and it helped me navigate because during that time I was doing some of the most high stakes work I had done, and so it helped us navigate all that.
It's funny how that happens, man. When you get in there and it's like, in the Bible being as old as it is, the text being as old as it is, and the messages being as old as they are, somehow like every time you sit in there, it's like, how did they how do you know like that's happening right now? Like how are we connecting that to the right like? But it's amazing how it hits you the way it's supposed to every single time. And
Oh yeah,
it's funny. I was just talking to somebody about that similar situation. Like, kind of had lost his way, came back to it, and it was like that first time he stepped into church. It was like, hey, they're talking. It was actually Drew Sinclair. He's in our group.
oh yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yep.
he was talking to me. It was like the pastor was looking me in the eye, and he was talking directly to me.
Right.
And it's funny how it happens that way, and it's just something about that moment that like pulls you even deeper in.
Oh yeah, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Because I knew then that I, I was home. Like, and I know you'll understand this, and a lot of your listeners will understand it. I didn't even realize that I had a void or that I was missing something or what I was missing until it was filled with the right thing, right? And that was with my faith. And so once that void was filled with my faith, like the clarity, the understanding, everything just came with it. And again, it brought a sense of calm. And I think that was the problem, right? That the storm was caused by not being on the right path and just, trying to make a square peg fit a round hole. And I was pounding and pounding, it just wasn't going. And
Yeah.
then this happened, and it was like, boom, there it is.